Welcome to the latest edition of Seller's Corner, your go-to place for all things reselling. I'm Erin, content creator for Vendoo, and today I'm here to talk to you about 5 things you need to know before you get started as a reseller. Before I do, let me invite you to subscribe to our channel. We publish content every Friday, and it's all about how to scale your resale business, Vendoo product tips, and community updates. Reselling, or the process of selling usually secondhand goods online for a profit, is booming. E-commerce is really popular right now. There are so many platforms to sell your items for a profit. Whether you're looking to clear unwanted items from your home, you're considering a lucrative hobby or side hustle, or you're thinking of starting or growing your full-time business, this video is for you. This video is also a follow-up to one of my latest blog posts on the Vendoo blog. Be sure to check that out. The top 5 things you need to know before you start selling items online is what to sell and where to sell it, how to price items, how to list items, how to ship items, and how to scale and grow profit. The first step is deciding what to sell and where to sell it. If you're just getting started as a reseller, I highly recommend checking out the unwanted items around your own home. Look at your own closets and drawers and see if there's anything that you are ready to get rid of. Do the same for your friends and family. Having some zero-cost unwanted goods to get started with is a great way to start to earn some revenue that you can use toward your business. It's also a great way to familiarize yourself with the various resale platforms, how to list, engage with customers, the terms of the platforms, the shipping process, and the payment processing. Gaining experience with items from your own house is a risk-free and simple way to dive into the world of reselling. Once you start to source items just to resell or flip for profit, you might want to determine a business model about which types of items you're going to buy. Consider, of course, which items will make you the most profit, which items you have access to inexpensively near you, which items you enjoy doing all the work that reselling entails, and which items you're comfortable storing and shipping. I primarily sell clothing, but I do dabble into other areas. I do think that a lot of people that curate too narrowly leave a lot of money on the table. Once you have a better idea of which types of items you might want to sell online, then it's time to research the many reselling platforms and decide where you'd like to list your inventory. Thankfully, I use Vendoo, so I'm able to put my inventory on many platforms with their easy cross-listing software. That being said, some platforms are better than others, depending on what you're selling. For hard goods, of course, I would recommend eBay and Facebook Marketplace. For children's clothing, Kidizen is a great place. For mid to high-end fashion for men and women, consider Poshmark. Handmade items do great on Etsy. Bread and butter brands and trendy popular pieces are great items for mercari. And the vintage, the funky, and the kind of weird fashion flies on Depop. There are so many places where you can post your items, and you can post them strategically to maximize exposure and your chance of making sales and yielding profit. When you're deciding where to sell, be sure to do a little bit of research about that platform. Know the terms and conditions, the accepted items, the selling fees, the shipment process, and a basic overview of how to use the platform. This will really help you to maximize everything that it has to offer. Step number 2 is pricing. Pricing can be really tricky as a reseller, especially if you're just getting started. Even I sometimes struggle when I'm confronted with an item that I've never seen before. Pricing is a science. You want to price low enough that you can price competitively and hopefully initiate a quick sale, but also high enough that you can yield a comfortable profit in respect to your cost of goods and the platform fee. For pricing, there's a few suggestions that I have. First is to look at Sellhound. Sellhound is a pricing tool that will help you look at comps to price your items. Comp research, which stands for comparables, is a great tool to use on all of the reselling platforms. If I'm going to list this blazer on Poshmark, I will look at the brand and the color, and I will go into the search field and see what I can find. I'm focused on both the active listings that have not sold, my direct competition, but also the sold listings that are a comparable style and the same brand, so that I can see a reasonable expectation of what the sale price of this garment might be. Remember, I'm going to price high enough that I'm prepared to entertain offers and make discounts, and also high enough that I'm comfortable with my return on investment after my costs and the selling fees on Poshmark. This process of comp research can be done on most of the reselling platforms to give you a great idea of what a fair range might be. Remember not to focus on this too heavily. Some sold listings were sold for way too little, and others were sold for way too high. The market's always changing. Vintage items often sell for quadruple what their original retail was, and some brands that have a huge retail value resell for very, very little, even when they're new. So starting to conduct your own research and getting a better idea of pricing and how much people engage with your listings will make the pricing process much more efficient. The third thing you need to know before you get started selling online is how to list an item. Yes, you probably know that you need photographs and you need to type a description, but there is so much more entailed that as you get comfortable reselling, you can do to improve both of those factors. Very clean, clear, and well-lit photographs maximize search engine optimization and also draw attention to your listings. The description is super important for search engine optimization as well. Describing an item with as much detail as possible is one of the keys to selling things online. Not only does this provide your buyer with all of the information they need, but on most platforms, every word in your description is a keyword that can be used for SEO. That means when someone conducts a search, whether it's on a platform like Poshmark or eBay, or it's on a search forum like Google or Bing, if you have keywords in your listing that match their search, your item should show up at the top. Take a look at the other videos here on Vendoo. I offer so many tips about how to use SEO in your photographs and in your keywording and description. The fourth thing you need to know before you get started as a reseller is how to ship your items. And trust me, it's not as intimidating as it may sound. Every platform has a different shipping procedure. Some might require you to create your own labels. Others might require you to weigh your items prior to listing, and others, like Poshmark, don't require any of the above. So do some research about how to ship on the platforms that you're interested in selling on. For example, on Poshmark, it's super simple. When a sale is made, a label is emailed to you, and you print it out, you put it on the package, and you ship it off. On Mercari, you have multiple options. You could either choose to offer free shipping, which means you pay it, or you could choose for the buyer to pay shipping. You can also choose to ship with Mercari, whereas you'll provide them with the weight and they'll send you a label, or you could choose to totally ship on your own. Both of those have different cost benefits. You'll definitely want to take a look at the weight of your items and do some shipping research. There are so many resources available, and you'll also decide if you have the option if USPS, UPS, or FedEx are right for you. I'm a USPS shipper. It's usually the least expensive for lighter weight items, and I love scheduling USPS package pickups. Every day when my mail is delivered, my packages are picked up for me and I don't have to go to the post office. Check out if that's an option around you or which shipping model works best for your platforms and your personal business. The last thing you need to know before you get started as a reseller is how to scale and grow your profit. Be sure to keep an eye on your profit. It's really easy to be upside down on an item when you don't properly consider the time that it takes you to process items, the platform fees, your costs versus the sale price that an item can yield, and everything in between. Be sure to keep on top of your bookkeeping. I recommend using a software like Vendoo, and to always keep profit first. Also remember that being a reseller takes time and patience. Not every day is a good sale day. Not every item is a good selling item. And it takes a lot of consistency, time, patience, and research to really grow. Thankfully, there are so many resources available online. There's a huge reselling community on social media with so many knowledgeable people for you to grow and network with. There is so much content on Vendoo's YouTube and on our blog where you can check out different tips and tricks on scaling your resale business. So before you become a reseller, make sure you have an idea of what to sell and where to sell it, how to price your items, how to list your items, how to ship your items, and how to scale your business and grow profit. If you liked this video, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. How is your reselling business doing? We'd love to hear from you below. See you next time, reseller friends. Happy sales!